I'm Coffee Kevin. I've recently posted about my indifference to decaffeinated coffee. I then tasted one that was better than average. Even then, I felt it would have been better still if they'd simply left it alone in its original state. Friend and fellow coffee author Anthony Harding saw the segment and reached out, telling me of a product invented by food engineer Andy Liu. He then sent me a sample, and I decided to try it for the first time and record both his story and my reaction to a cup of coffee using the product. So, here he is, speaking to me from Taiwan while I brew this very fine, fully caffeinated Ethiopian coffee, and then my use of the Decafino pouch to decaffeinate it and my first sips. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name's Andy, and I'm the founder of Decafino, and we have created a new way to make decaf taste good again.
Incredible. And Caffino is your company and your invention and your product. And I actually, you were kind enough to send me a packet or two so that I can make some. I'm actually going to make some while we speak, if that's okay, because I don't know, what time is it where you are?
So I'm back in Asia right now, so this is in the morning, so it's about 7:50 in the morning.
Well, it is not the morning here. It's nearly 7 p.m. I'm in the Midwest of the United States. I'm in Chicago, and it is past the time that people like me usually have coffee. Now, I do sneak a cup of coffee after dinner once in a while, but I haven't had one yet this evening, and usually I quit by now, and I'm going to make a super nice caffeinated cup of coffee. Tell us how this works, and this is quite revolutionary.
The decaf pouch samples that I sent you, those are basically act as a magnet for caffeine. So when the materials, the beads inside the pouch, get in contact with the coffee, it will start extracting caffeine out from the coffee and leave you with a nice lowly caffeinated coffee. So it takes about 45 minutes to finish the process. So you can either do it while you are brewing. So typically when I make the coffee, I make a pour over. So I drop one of those pouch on the bottom of my decanter, and then I make my coffee over the pouch, and then I have to wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. And if I were to have a cup of coffee, I will just directly put the pouch into the cup and then wait for about 4 minutes. And I will have to stir it, dunk it a few times every minute for 4 minutes.
If I make a siphon, should I wait to put the pouch in until the siphon is completed and I pour it into our serving carafe?
So if you are making a siphon, you can put the decaf pouch into your serving carafe first, and then you pour the coffee into the serving carafe, and then you have to stir and dunk it a few times for every minute for about 4 minutes.
All right, well, let me prepare. And actually, it's pretty simple. It has a little drawing will help me in the future with different methods. Very convenient. And then this is the pouch. It looks like a tea bag. And these, I assume, are, well, they're food-friendly ingredients in here.
So the product's made from natural ingredients. So the main ingredient is a mineral called montmorillonite. So it's kind of the material is a kind of clay, and yeah, but it's not used as a clay. It typically used as a purifier for different juice, and coffee is still considered a kind of juice. So we use that material to purify the caffeine. Yeah,
Wow.
so I consider it as a natural product made from natural ingredients.
What motivated you to come up with this product?
My background is in chemical engineering, so I studied at University of Washington in Seattle. About 4 or 5 years ago, I graduated 4 or 5 years ago in 2016. And at the time before I graduate, in my early days, in my college years, I'm fine with caffeine. Any amount of caffeine will not affect my sleep. However, in my last year of my study, caffeine has an effect on me, and it grew stronger. So now I can't have coffee after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, I won't sleep during the evening. And then I was in the city of Seattle. People know city of Seattle as a coffee city. People drink a lot of coffee there. However, it was difficult to find a really good cup of coffee. I remember one experience I had was to drink. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I was trying to find a cup of coffee. And then I always know that decaf coffee doesn't taste quite as good as regular. So I was like, oh, let me go find a $5 cup of coffee. So I went and found a $5 cup of decaf, and then I try it. It doesn't taste like anything. So I'm very disappointed. I mean, a $5 coffee should be pretty good. So I was disappointed, and I went back and I started looking into different processes for making decaf coffee beans and different ways to prepare decaf coffee. And the more I look at it, the more I think to myself, man, I need to do something about this, because most of the decaf coffee, they use chemical solvents. And then with my background in chemical engineering, I don't really like to drink coffee that's processed by chemical solvents. And I know there's the other water method, which is a lot more environmentally friendly, but it still have the problem of not as convenient, because when you are out there trying to find a cup of good decaf, it's not everyone carries Swiss water decaf or mountain water decaf. So if we have a universal product, that's one product, and I can use it to make all the coffee, remove the caffeine from all different kinds of coffee, it would be a lot more convenient. So I started research. I started with my professor, and then my colleagues back in the school, and then we start developing the backbone of this technology. And then right now we have our patent pending status for this technology. And man, it's really exciting. And the product the product Kevin is trying right now is our final product, and we're really excited to have Kevin trying it out for us. Thank you, Kevin.
It is I who should thank you, Andy, because this is a product that I've been looking for years. I can always spot that it's a decaf. It just doesn't taste as good. If I go to the siphon bars in LA, I always go there in the evening, and I really enjoy having that coffee.
What kind of coffee are you making today?
I am making an Ethiopian coffee, and it is roasted about 5 days ago by the same roaster that roasted the decaf that I tried last time. It's Modest Coffee, and they're a very fine coffee roaster. Marcus Contaldo, who is the roast master for Modest, he felt that I would really be best to. I told him about your product, and he said, "Well, I will give you a coffee that has got a pretty high caffeine level." Just to try it, and here we go. And just pour all of it in. Well, this is a good amount to. Okay. It smells the same, and this is a fruit bomb coffee. This has that blueberry taste. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Smells exactly the same. It tastes exactly the same. If this doesn't keep me awake. This is fabulous. This is the coffee I've had this morning, the coffee I had this afternoon. Well, my hat's off to you, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
I do. I'm sure that this is going to change and expand an industry, because the only objection to drinking coffee at night is really the quandary of whether you want to risk staying up too late or risk, and I consider this a greater risk, having a substandard tasting beverage. How much is the cost?
So the decaf pouch. So we have finished developing the product, and right now I'm traveling to find suppliers, and we're planning to release the product next year. So the cost of the product currently is about $1.50 per pouch, and every pouch is good for 3 uses.
And so I can use 2 more uses on this
Yes,
bag.
you can use 2 more times. Yes.
Now, do I need to refrigerate it or anything, or just keep it like that?
Try to use it within 2 days, and then you don't have to refrigerate
it. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, let's keep in touch.
Well, I'm sure you're wondering how I slept that night. Aside from some extra excitement at having had the first decaf cup of coffee in my life that tasted identical to that coffee in its caffeinated state, I slept like a baby. In fact, I imagine I slept better, knowing the world might possibly have finally solved a pressing problem. But that's speculation. Obviously, the product needs to pass a number of hurdles to become widely available. I want to thank Mr. Liu for appearing on our show and risking my honest reaction. I also wish to thank Modest Coffee for supplying this Ethiopian coffee, which was the guinea pig for our first tasting. I can assure you it's delicious, both caffeinated and using Liu's decaffeinated pouch. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to CoffeeCon. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Java Master, whose in-store, in-grocery store roasters are doing their part to make coffee fresher in every U.S. coffee maker. CoffeeCon Online happens January 9th on the World Wide Web. It's going to be live, educational, entertaining, and interactive. I'm Coffee Kevin.